Now, phobias are one of the easiest things to fix because people will have such a desire to fix them. It's like pain control is one of the easiest things to work with in hypnosis because people have such a desire not to have any pain. They have such a desire not to have a phobia. So then the technique works really well. You can do it in one session, just about any phobia. I know a friend of mine came to this course in Brisbane, learned the exact same Phobia Cure that you learned, and he became did a lot of phobias with people, and the television people he was on TV doing a Phobia Cure 6 months after the course, and so he said he can fix about 7 out of 10 phobias he can fix, and the other 3 either aren't phobias or they have secondary benefits or something else. But if the person is generally interested in fixing the phobia, this technique works remarkably well. The foundations of making this technique successful is to be able to do a disassociation with someone. So first of all, the person, do you have a phobia? And they say yes, of what? If they start to think about what they have a phobia of and start to shake, well, then you know on your right thing, or you're on the right way. And someone says, oh yeah, I've got a phobia of snakes. Just the other day I saw a snake and it really scared me, and they're very relaxed about the whole thing. Well, they probably don't have a phobia of snakes. Okay. Now this can be used for phobias also, as well as situations where a person has had a traumatic experience in their life, or something happened to them very traumatic, and they don't have any memory of it. Like someone says, "Do you remember when you had this thing, or your mother died, or whatever?" And they go, "No, I have no memory of that." Sometimes the unconscious mind decides, well, it's better you not know this, and so it doesn't give you access to information. You can get access to information that your unconscious mind hides away if you can make an agreement with it that to experience whatever it was, the memory, without having any emotional or physical trauma. And it goes, sure, you can do that. So setting up a disassociation will help you get access to information without the feelings. Now, disassociation is just this. Let's say you're here, you're the one that had the trauma. Okay? I'm imagining that I'm sitting here watching you. So it's a one-place dissociation. It's when we did the exercise on association, disassociation on the second day, it's the same thing, except we're going to do it in 2 places, which means step back and step back again. So first of all, if you had a phobia, okay, I've got my phobia. Do you know when it first happened? Oh yeah, I remember when it first happened when I was 10 years old or 13 or 30 or whatever. Okay, so they remember what it was like. Okay, so you set up then the disassociation, and you ask the person to imagine that they're in a cinema. Okay, and in the cinema is a movie screen in front of them. Okay, a blank white movie screen. It's like you're sitting in there and you're watching. You're just looking at this blank screen. They say, yeah, okay, I can imagine that. By the way, you can do disassociations in the auditory and kinesthetic system. This is a visual dissociation. Okay, you learn how to do the auditory and kinesthetics in the Master Practitioner Workshop. The structure is the same, but the internal perceptions are in different representational systems. But it is possible for people who cannot do visuals. There are other ways to do dissociations. So this is a visual dissociation for the Phobia Cure. Blank screen. Okay, I'm sitting here. Then imagine that they are sitting. Ask the person to imagine sitting behind themselves, watching themselves look at the blank screen. Okay, they said I can do that. Okay. Then ask the person to imagine themselves that they're in the projection booth of the cinema. looking down at yourself, watching yourself, look at the blank screen. Okay, so this is directly associated to it. Okay, watching yourself, watch the screen is a two-place dissociation. Okay, 1, 2. Once you set up the two-place dissociation, you want to anchor it. Now you anchor it because somewhere in the process the person may start to associate to the event and they'll start to experience trauma, so you use the anchor to bring them back out of it. In your book, it also says to set up what we call a comfort anchor, which is a time when you felt really secure. And you can do that if you like to and set that up somewhere also. And for the unlikelihood that, again, they get associated to the situation. So you can set up a comfort anchor or a comfort and a dissociation anchor. Okay? Now, so you've done the dissociation and you've anchored it. The person is now in a two-place dissociated state. They can see themselves, look on a screen. From this perspective, ask them to run on the movie screen a movie of themselves having the phobia, just in real time, real color, and so they go through the situation. Now, if they can stay dissociated, they won't be able to experience feelings connected to that event because they disassociated in two places. So they're running, the movie is going, and then instruction when the movie has ended to nod the head and to freeze the movie like a freeze frame. Okay, so they've seen the movie, they freeze frame. From that point, if this is after the event, instruct the person in their mind to imagine going up into the movie screen where this person, whoever age they were, just had this trauma, to reassure them. Words such as, I've come from the future, I can attest to the fact that you survived, and I want you to know that this experience will never happen again. So it's kind of like a, get the kinesthetics in there, it's okay, don't worry, we made it, that kind of a thing. Okay? Once that's done, go back to the dissociated two places back. Okay, I'm back in the booth now. I'm disassociated. The movie there is still. It's awesome. Instruct the person to change the movie from color to black and white, and then run it backwards with circus music. Do you know circus music? Da 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 da, and backwards. Okay, until it's ended. Okay, and that's the end of it. See. The dissociation allows you to be able to work on the phobia. The process of changing it to black and white, going backwards, and with circus music, literally scrambles the connections in your brain. So a phobia is a one-trial learning that gets hardwired instantaneously. So there's a connection in your brain, bam, bam, okay? This process, black and white in reverse with circus music, scrambles that connection, right? So it can't happen again. It literally, scrambles it up. So if you can imagine. So if you can find something else in there that can scramble it up, it doesn't have to be exactly that. That's just as per the manual. But that's why it works, okay? And why it's so effective is because of that last process that it literally undoes that connection that got hardwired on the first occasion. Okay, so we've gone backwards. Usually what I do, because of if a person has never experienced something like this, I'll start them up again, and I'll do it again with a bit more flow. Okay, screen, step back, see yourself, got it, step back again, watch yourself, and screen, got the dissociation. Good. Run a movie, full color, real time. Okay. End it. Okay. Go up on the screen. Do the dialogue. Everything is going to be okay. Da 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 da. Okay. Black and white, change movie to black and white, run it backwards with circus music. Okay? You say, did it work? Okay, okay. I've done that. Now, from the progression booth, okay, put them into this location and present the whatever the phobia is. If it's a snake, say, okay, see yourself looking into the snake. You feel okay? Yeah. Okay, great. All right? And then you do it from this position. Okay? You just see the snake. And they go, okay, not a problem. Okay, see, this is associated. This is one place disassociation. That is two place disassociated. So I just bring them step by test. Is that okay? All right? Next step, is that okay? Is that all right? All right. And then the next thing is to bring in a snake, if that's what you want to do. Or what I usually do with heights, I take somebody outside and out there and have them look around. So that's it. It's pretty simple. It's easy. It's so reliable, this technique. So reliable. You know, if the person generally has a phobia and generally wants to get rid of it, this thing is gone. It's just amazing. Now, this was created by locating people who had phobias and cured them by themselves and say, what did you do? And that information coming together, some general trends, you know, about the dissociation, about the movie and things like that. And so the technique was modeled after people who had phobias. It wasn't created by some psychiatrist somewhere who was trying to figure out what to do. It was just all about finding people who had phobias and fix themselves. What did you do to fix it? And this model was created from that. It's really good, really good. So that's it.